As we move through this brand new year, we thank you for subscribing to our podcast. And if you have an idea or two about how we could make this information service more complete for you, we'd love to hear from you. We want to provide some genuine help for our listeners, answers and ideas to help you make the best possible investing decisions. And you can do that two ways. That is, communicate with us here. Use your phone or call anytime. Call our anytime line at 888-99-CHART. That's 888-992-4278. Or go to investtalk.com. That's InvestTalk with two T's, investtalk.com, and click on Contact Us. And thanks again for listening to Invest Talk. Welcome to our 1-hour meeting of the minds about money, your money. This is Invest Talk, made possible today and every day by KPP Financial. It's about managing risk while looking for profits, putting the money you worked for to work for you. And now, here's registered investment advisor Steve Peasley. You're listening to an encore presentation of Invest Talk. Please call with your questions and comments, though, 888-99-CHART, 888-99-CHART, and Steve will answer them on the next Invest Talk.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Invest Talk. Today I have with me Helen Crawford from KPP Financial. Helen, thank you for coming.
Hi, Steve. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much. And I want to welcome all our listeners, the podcasters, InvestTalk.com listeners. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all the calls, we support. Please get on the phone and dial and ask us your questions. Now, our promise each day is to help you make better decisions about your retirement portfolio. The mission never changes, okay? Our mission stays the same. Even though you may feel that the market has left you high and dry, it is still alive and still offers promise for those who approach it with respect and, understand what's happening. You don't have to be in the market the whole time to be using the market to gather wealth. You don't have to. There's things you can do. And a simple thing is you can sell stock short, and maybe you don't know what that means, but there's things you can do even while you're still in the market, okay? There's contrarian issues, there's safety plays, there's all kinds of things you can do. Today we're going to consider good reasons that need to be evident before you buy a stock. And I think this is a very critical area and an area where there's a lot of lacking of concentration on people who are buying stocks. You don't buy stocks because you think they're cheap. That's not how it works. Because people are equating cheap with a low price. Might look cheap because it's a low price, but it may not be cheap at all because of the earnings. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go over some of the things you really, really need to look at. And in fact, there is 7 questions you need to answer before you buy a stock. And this is an article by Harry Domish of MSMmoney.com. And, these 7 questions are what all professional investors ask, okay, when we're looking at a stock. Thinking outside the stocks. History tells the story. When Washington starts signing checks for research and development, issues tax subsidies, those kinds of things, sets mandates for production, things happen in the stock market. The stock market watches and reacts to what Washington does. There's opportunities, okay, there's lots of opportunities out there, but there's also pitfalls. You got to be careful of what Washington does.
Yes, I was going to say, Steve, you've also got to look at the negative side and make sure that the stocks you're in at the moment will survive and carry you through this time.
Yeah, whatever he's doing, if he's going to benefit one industry or one sector, he's probably going to cause another industry or sector to go down. That's one thing I hate about Washington when they start favoring different companies and sectors and technologies, because the free market will pick the best technology. Washington is terrible at picking the best technology. That's the problem. And they spend zillions of our dollars, everybody, and we all know that's happening, and it's not necessarily a good thing.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to have to say the Chinese has indicated that they are going to boost their stimulus package. Now, we don't know what the details are, but remember, China's actually doing pretty good. And I've read that in the last couple of months, their orders for certain commodities are increasing, not decreasing, increasing.
Yes, and in fact, Steve, they're adding $585 billion to spend.
To the stimulus package they've already had. So that's almost doubling it, if I remember right. See, and they have the money. They can write a check. It's not like us, where we have to go print it and then get it back from us through tax dollars down the road. They have the cash. They write a check. Wish we could do that.
Yeah.
Why do they write a check? Because they don't spend as much money as they earn in tax dollars. Gee, does that sound like something that's novel? Why don't we spend less than we earn in the good times? Does this not sound like it makes a lot of sense to me? When we have an economic growth going on, which we've had for many, many years in the past, and we save not one dime, spend every dime or more, and then we come across a slump that we're in, we don't have money like China does to go ahead and spend the money. And you can argue all you want about, well, because, we have this or that.
But you know what I find quite interesting, Steve, is how normally everybody looks to America, don't they, for reassurance and leading the way. But it's amazing how China came out and gave a bit of reassurance themselves, being one of the the third biggest, largest economy out there.
Third, fourth, I don't remember, something like that. Yeah, and here they are. They're demonstrating, I hate to say this, leadership. And what are we demonstrating here? Spendingship. We're showing them this is how you spend more money than you will ever see in your lifetime. And we're spending it, and we're spending it, and we're spending it, instead of letting weak companies go under, weak banks go under. Just let them go under, let them file Chapter 11, let them come out if they can. If they can't, they're toast. We're spending money on huge government programs that will never cease to cost us millions and billions of dollars. We voted for Obama. He got in, and we voted for a Democratic Congress. They got in, and they're going to get their way. This is what's going to happen. And the stock market hates it, just letting you know.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting, Steve. In China, there were unrest happening out there with 20 million rural labourers who previously found jobs in the city were now unemployed, and they had 7.1 million college graduates seeking work. So they have to look like they're doing something, idle hands.
Well, that's a big problem with China. They have so many people. Yep. They got to put those people to work, and they need lots of infrastructure, and they got the money. Makes perfect sense. There's a marriage made in heaven. You need the infrastructure. You need to put your people back to work. You got the money. Go for it. We don't. We don't have millions of dollars.
That's right. And what we're doing is we're having to replace things now that they can build from the ground up.
They're building new. We need to replace or improve or put new bridges up or new roads.
Right. So it's not quite as easy, is it?
No. We need new power grids. We need new plumbing and water, distribution systems. You name it. We need to improve our systems, and it's a perfect time to improve it. But we never put money aside to do that in the future. We just So now we're in a big hole. We're digging a deeper and deeper hole. Not a good thing. The stock market liked what it saw in China, but